Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so that potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make an informed buying decision. If you would like to learn more about this business, including details like what type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included with the business, simply visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business's listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and in the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. First up, let's learn a little bit about you. Can you tell us about your background in building and running online businesses?
I don't actually have any background in running an online business at all. I come from a financial accounting background. So while I'm really good with spreadsheets, I had no experience in e-commerce or social media. I didn't even have an Instagram account personally. So this was all new and me figuring it out from listening to podcasts, watching YouTube, and putting together a pretty straightforward e-commerce business just from what I learned along the way.
Why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
I started the business as a career change during COVID because I had been an employee before and was not able to keep doing that job due to lockdown. So this was never meant to be a full-time business. It was really started to be a lifestyle business to replace my income, and it went great. It was growing. And then I did have an incident happen that I'll discuss with the person that it won't impact them, but it impacted me, and it really ruined the fun and passion for me of continuing this business, that I stopped making new organic content, making new ads. I really just put it on passive mode, and I didn't release the new products I had lined up. Like all these plans that I had, I didn't do because my passion for the business was lost. Simultaneously, my husband bought a business. So I ended up having to help him a lot get going. And that really took a lot of my attention and effort. And then I ended up helping another family member with their business. And now that one we're working on is growing really, really fast, that I just haven't been giving any time to this business. So the combination of my passion for it not being there, since it was not meant to be my whole life, it literally was a COVID career change business that I just feel like I've outgrown, and it's time to pass it on to the next person who can do what needs to be done with it, essentially.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
So in the beginning, to get it going, it was obviously a lot of work, and I worked on it full time for multiple years here. But now it's been on passive mode that I don't really do much work. I basically just take old Instagram posts, old Facebook ads that work, and let them run. But normally I would be making new content. Usually I would make it on TikTok because I liked editing videos on TikTok. And then I would just share those as Instagram Reels. Sometimes I throw them up on Pinterest as well. Sometimes I throw them up on YouTube Shorts. I used to email way more regularly. Now I email like once a month. But even still, like I never emailed as much as I should have. I only had one product in a couple colors. I would order a whole bunch of them in batches so that I didn't have to deal with placing inventory orders very often. And I used to do a lot more with Facebook ads and Google ads. I haven't run Google ads in a long time. And even Facebook, I used to run it myself. I never had any agencies involved. I did it all on my own. I used to be more active in Facebook groups. Now I'm not active at all. And I used to also put time and attention into getting on blogs because that was also a really good source of traffic and sales as well. But right now it's literally just, hey, I should repost something on my Instagram stories and basically just check in once every couple of weeks on Facebook and make sure 1 or 2 ads is running. And that is all I have been doing to maintain it, which is why you'll see it hasn't grown anymore. It has shrunk because that is it. But when I was putting out new content, of course, it was growing, but I'm also not really spending much money on anything either.
So if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways you would try to grow it?
Well, the easiest would be start making organic content again to get those free eyeballs, start running Google ads again, start properly doing Facebook ads again, start emailing the audience again, Those are the easy, immediate things. I also have not launched new colors or products in a long time. There's a lot of accessory variations on the existing product that it would just be an email of a purchase order to say, hey, I would like to order more in this color or this specific configuration, that you wouldn't have to develop those new products. You can just order them right away. There are other new products I have that need manufacturers, but the tech packs are done. Some sampling rounds have been done that could be done as well. Also not on Amazon. That's an easy win. Haven't raised the price in a couple of years. That's an easy win. Selling more to the States because I manufacture in Canada. So to take advantage of the foreign exchange with Canadian manufacturing and selling to the States, that's an easy win. But more specifically, a lot of people in the special needs and autism markets have been buying this product. And depending on their location, there's government funding and insurance that covers it. So my plan was really to double down on that because it's really nice when you sell a product to people who do not have to pay for it. There are a couple online stores that I do drop shipping for where they just have it listed on their websites and we fulfill. I would probably be emailing more of these autism sensory stores to be listed with them because those sales just passively come in. And I had done a lot of cold outreach to occupational therapists in Canada because they were recommending it. So I would be doing that with the States where I get the list of all their emails and be reaching out to them as well, because then they just start to recommend it. It's so nice. I don't pay anything with their college rules. They don't take commission. They just recommend the product. It's great. So I would be doubling down on the special needs community, maybe looking to attend a trade show. I wanted to start putting out content to show how it's really an occupational therapy tool as well. And I had found someone who wanted to do YouTube for me. Again, I didn't proceed with these plans, but she was going to put the content out to show different ways to use the product for occupational therapy that then I would have posted an email and send it to all these occupational therapists. So then they would send it to their patients as a resource. So that was the game plan.
Right. And what would you say are the biggest risks with this business that buyers should be aware of?
In my opinion, the biggest risk is that traditionally it is in the toy industry, and toys usually are 70% sales Q4. For someone, this could be a strength because maybe they want to operate it as a seasonal business. For me, I didn't like having so many sales concentrated in one quarter, which is why I wanted to double down on the occupational therapy market because I really wanted to even out my sales through the year without having to play the hamster wheel of new toy, new SKUs, more money, sitting in inventory, stale inventory. Like I liked having a simple business that was basically a one SKU business. And I just wanted to expand it to more markets. And I suppose, of course, there's potential tariffs coming up from Canada to the States. So that might be something coming up as well.
How much support are you willing to offer the buyer who acquires this business?
Yes, of course, I'm happy to support the buyers. I'll do the initial introduction with all the different players in the supply chain and walk you through everything I've done. I can even go through specifically what worked the best at each point in time, the things that haven't worked. So I'm always around for a Zoom call. I'm happy to record Looms, walking through how to do specific tasks, depending on what your experience with e-commerce is and how much handholding you may or may not need.
Are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out agreement?
It is less desirable to do an earn-out payment structure. I'd rather just get paid in full. Whoever buys the business will end up needing cash to buy inventory. It's not the kind of business you can run on no money. There is quite a lot of the imported component that I have already. So for a while, it would just be the manufacturing in Canada where you do get net 30 days. So you'd be able to get your product and sell it or sell some of it before you have to actually pay that bill.
Okay, final question. If you had to put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why is your business a business worth buying?
I think it's a business worth buying because it's very simple and there's a lot of different things that could be done with it. And it's already in place. Audiences already exist. People have heard of it. It has a great reputation from the last couple of years. And I think you can really go a couple directions. If you want to treat it passively like a seasonal business, fine. If you want to double down on the occupational market, fine. If you want to be more of a toy company and come out with all sorts of new toys, fine. You can kind of morph it into whatever you want it to be. A couple of really nice traits. It's the really low minimum order quantities for both components. That makes it really, really easy to not have to over invest in inventory. I love local manufacturing and visiting my manufacturer here all the time. It's really nice to have a great relationship with them. The manufacturer that I use in China for one component, I've been working with them like 4 years, and they always have my back. If I make a suggestion that they don't think is good, they'll tell me. They respond right away. Like all the partners I deal with have been fantastic. My customers are really nice. And honestly, it's such a low stress business, I get almost no emails as well. I've gotten really good over the years. When someone has a question, I add it to the FAQ. I make sure there's an email. I make sure it's on a product page. So I try and have all the questions answered for people. So there's almost no emails. It's pretty easy in that sense. It's really easy to make content. The product shows really well. It's been fun. And I had no e-commerce experience and I was able to make it work. So whether you have a bit of e-commerce experience or coming from another industry, I don't think it will be that difficult to keep this going for someone else at all. It's a pretty friendly, simple one SKU business.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this business is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll find everything you need to know about this business. So, thanks for joining us. See you next time.